So for our next video on the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia, let's talk about Tiamat. So Tiamat is rather interesting, mainly because there's not a lot of source material on who and what she is. So I kind of compiled some notes and such when I was digging through some jazz this morning. So, like a lot of my other videos, like a lot of my older ones, I have a script that I wrote. I couldn't find my notebook, so I actually typed it up. So we're going to be going off of that. So she's called the Glistening One. One of her names is also Mumu, which coincidentally is one of the 50 names of Marduk, which helps to increase magical power, right? And the sigil is really interesting because it kind of looks like an arrow, almost. So Tiamat is female. She was the goddess of salt water. Her consort was Absu, which was the god of fresh water. She's seen as a primordial goddess of creation. I would kind of I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I would equate her with the Catharabina, I think Chokma at the top of the tree of life, the feminine force, right? Um, Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Haven't had that much coffee this morning, but yep, primordial creation. So the main source of information on Tiamat is the Enuma Elish, which you can find a version of in the Magan text in the Simon Necronomicon, and it's one of the things that gives the Simon Necronomicon kind of legitimacy because it pulls directly from a Mesopotamian tale. So the Enuma Elish, or When on High, is like the original creation story about Tiamat and Absu writhing along. You got to think of like oceans, right? And then they have offspring, and they have offspring, and they have offspring, and then those offspring get too loud and too noisy. And essentially, Absu gets kind of angry. It's almost like I'm trying to remember that legend of that king that is like he hears the tale that his son is going to murder him. So when he has a kid, he sends the kid off, right? And then what eventually happens? Yeah, he dies. Anyway, let's get back to it here. So there are only a few other references other than the Enuma Elish to Tiamat in existence that we know of, right? There's like one relief that demonstrates. There's like several reliefs that demonstrate what she looks like, and I think there's a couple of other tales that she happened to be mentioned in. So there was no holiday dedicated to Tiamat, mainly because her offspring's offspring's offspring were seen as her destroyers, right? But the Enuma Elish was read during the New Year's festival, which was like the main celebration of Marduk, um, which was the spring equinox. And the Enuma Elish specifically was read on the fourth day. Yep. So, let's see, did I miss the spot? Nope. So, Tiamat has been described as a serpent, a dragon, a dragoness, and other descriptions, but there is some debate over what exactly she looks like and what her appearance is. One relief demonstrates or shows that Tiamat as a woman with legs made of snakes. There's another kind of really famous relief where it almost looks like a hippogriff in a way, a four-legged beast with wings, which is why you can kind of attribute Tiamat to what we kind of think of as a dragon with like four legs and two wings, not a wyvern that only has two legs and wings. So getting off track a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, actually I didn't. So initially she's a peaceful goddess credited with all of creation through union with Apsu. Writhing around, you got to think of water and waves, right? Because if you think about the like Genesis and whatnot, the waters below from the waters above, they kind of conceptualize the whole universe as being water, and it's almost like we're in this bubble where above the firmament is water, because either there is, or we didn't, or back then they didn't really understand space. Anyway, let's keep going. And where did I leave off? That's why I don't like having it on the screen, but I like the notebook in my hand. But like I said, I couldn't find it, and I just kind of wanted to get this out. Um, yep. So she's seen as a peaceful goddess, and Absu's really the one that starts the war because he's afraid that he's going to get killed anyway. And oh look, self-fulfilling prophecy. Whoopsie. So, in the Enuma Elish, Tiamat and Apsu have offspring, first being Lamu and Lahamu, which I'll probably make videos on, who then had Anshar and Kishar, who I will probably make videos on, who bore Anu, which I already did have a video on in this playlist, and Anu's consort Antu, who bear the rest of the offspring known as the Elder Gods, from Enlil to Enki, and then down the line with Marduk and Ishtar and Nebo and Shamash and all them, right? So Absu is convinced that their offspring will try to eliminate him, so he attacks them, and oops, Absu dies, right? So Tiamat, she's initially like a caring mother goddess. She created everything, right? But think about it. If think about a lot of stereotypical movies. Your spouse gets killed, it's revenge time, right? So she takes Kingu, who's like her general, right? And she makes him her new consort, and between their writhings, they have a ton of really nasty offspring from like wind demons and more dragons and serpents and such. So they amass an army to attack what the Necronomicon calls the Elder Gods, which is Anu, Enlil, Enki, and all of their offspring and such. And let's see. So yeah, Tiamat becomes vengeful. So she initially wasn't, but who wouldn't be, right? It's kind of that polarity of creator versus angry. It's almost like the pillar of mercy versus the pillar of severity in the Tree of Life and stuff. Ooh, I'm cross-relating things. Interesting. Tree of Life playlist also. I have that. So yeah, Tiamat wants payback. So she becomes angry and da-da-da-da-da. Yep, said that. So in the Simon Necronomicon and in Mesopotamian stories, she's seen as the matriarch of the evil forces that Marduk destroys, and Marduk uses her body to create the earth and the firmament. So when Tiamat gets super angry, amasses an army, the Elder Gods are like, oh, dude, this is bad, right? We can't do this on our own. And Marduk is like, yeah, give me your power, I'll take it. I'll do it. But you got to make me the boss. So Marduk eventually confronts her. She casts a whole bunch of spells. He's able to survive that kind of stuff. He throws a net on her. He blows a powerful wind into her throat. He shoots an arrow at her. She dies. He cuts her into pieces, and he uses her to create the the earth and the firmament. So let me get into a little bit of a description here. So her ribs become the vault of heaven and earth, and basically what seals it together. Her eyes become the sources of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Her tail becomes the Milky Way galaxy. I thought that was rather interesting. And one of the other things is Tiamat was the very first person that held the Tablet of Destinies, or the Tablets of Destiny, depending on the translation and such. So, which Marduk took from her upon her defeat, demonstrating that he held the power of the course of the universe. For us Zelda fans, you can kind of think of the Tablet of Destinies as being the Triforce. I love dropping that line there. There's a thing that I gotta add down here, which is a little bit of a collectible. It's a Zelda thing. The only actual Zelda reference that I have, I think, is not only the Ocarina of Time back there, but the Link plushie up there. Got a little bit more flavor back there, but when I get around to it. So, anyway, the Tablet of Destinies is like you control everything that's going on. You are the big boss, which is why Marduk is then elevated to the top. So there is thoughts that the Enuma Elish was really written as kind of a political propaganda to put Marduk at the top, to make him the boss. Oh, there's this story. This legitimizes what we think, and he's the boss now, so everybody has to believe in this story and in Marduk being the boss. Kind of in the same way of, well, people pick up a Bible and like, this is the truth. Read it, you'll understand. Kind of like that. But that's the way that cultures and religions and stuff basically ebb and flow and gain power and prominence through other people believing and adopting their stories. That's why you have like missionaries and blah 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 of people that go and they proselytize and all that stuff. But oh hey, there's this box that my foot's resting on. I should call it my soapbox, right? Anywho, so that's Tiamat in a nutshell. And I know that like there was a YouTuber on here who's not here anymore, and it's really sad. He actually did an invocation of Tiamat. He also had a video about her, I believe. And I was throwing my 2 cents in there, like Psycho Sorcerer, that guy, who's he took all of his YouTube videos down. And I mean, hey, if he ever happens to watch this, or one of my buddies who knows him, if you want to refer him to this video and such, like bit of an inspiration for this series in a way. So, thanks, man. Anywho, so that is Tiamat in a nutshell. Let me know what you think. Questions, comments, complaints, concerns, issues down below or in my email. You can find all of my social media links at the end of this video, as well as info on my other playlists and my books, which also happen to be above my head. So, yeah, good video for the morning. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.